again? We're doing this again?
Like
then
I
let
said,
us do this again?
Look, it just feels correct at this moment for us to be doing this. So,
Correct. So, hello, bonjour, hi, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I've got water as always, but I am drinking a cute little iced coffee with some new reusable straws that I have, and it's lavender because that's the feeling of the day. But I have a cup mug, and Lana can do the thing. Cup mug.
I mean, we could have waited till I just did the thing originally.
Yeah, I'm aware, okay?
But it's okay. Hi, I'm Lana, your resident evil diva. We're here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I'm not drinking anything because I'm not thirsty, and I drank it already. So there we go. But I don't have it. But look, they have it. Cup mugs, and you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup merch, period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear my Uma Gahd shirt. I don't know why I'm wearing that.
I wonder why you're wearing that shirt, David.
I just felt God calling me to wear it, so I'm wearing it. Absolutely. And I'm not drinking anything.
Will work.
Well, of course, if you haven't watched the episode already, go watch the episode. It's a good episode of Canada's Drag Race. And then go watch our recap once it comes out. But we are here today talking with the beautiful, lovely, kooky, and fabulous Uma Gahd.
Period.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My auntie is here. Oh my God.
Yes. Our favorite unofficial auntie is here. We're going to dive into everything with her. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag race, and drag race interviews. Period. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access. So, without further ado, oh my God. Well, today is a special treat, and all of these queens from Canada's Drag Race are going to be special treats, but we are talking to our 5th follower on Blue Sky, Uma Gahd.
Hello, everyone.
I do just love that. I love that of all the people that could have the distinction of being like our first 10 followers on Blue Sky, you are one of them. And I appreciate you for it, Uma.
You know what? I appreciate you for being there because unfortunately, just, I kind of have to be where the fans are, which means I'm obligated to post on Twitter. But I would much rather that we all left and found bluer skies, but anyways, we're there. That's what counts.
Absolutely, absolutely. How are you feeling after watching your elimination episode, darling?
I'm actually feeling great. Part of the experience of filming this is that you never know what parts they're going to show, and you never know what music they're going to put underneath it. And so I was expecting, I was bracing for the worst, and then I watched the episode, and I was like, oh, I actually look real good.
Yeah, I have a question regarding your name, Uma Gahd. So I'm very curious how you came up with the name and if any personal religion or faith plays into that still to this day.
So I'm going to answer your question backwards.
Okay.
So I am a religious person, but I'm not Christian. As the meme once said, she's not a Christian. When I was much younger, I went to Catholic school, so I've got all that great, religious baggage and everything. But the whole reason that I kind of play the character that I do is because I knew that I always wanted to hear someone say that, like, God loves me. And if it has to come from a crazy clown-faced woman, then so be it. So I do it for the people that need to hear that they are loved and like kind of get that out there. So that's where that part comes from. Basically I did my confirmation in the 6th grade, and then before I started the 7th grade, I converted to being a hippie pagan. So that's my religious, like now I'm a Dionysian, which is why my drag is always a little bit spiritual for me. If you don't get it, then you can look it up. But Dionysus is the god of theater, so here I am. And as far as where my name comes from, the story that Uma usually tells is that when I walk into a room, everyone says, "Oh my God!" So that must be my name. But in reality, it's that one day I was hanging out with a friend and I was really hungry, and I said, "Oh, I'm starving. Oh my God!" And that's where it came from.
See,
awesome.
I've been relating you as well to Raja O'Hara and just saying, "Oh my God," like all season, and I love it.
I tried to get a video with her because I hosted the Canada versus the World finale party. Like when all of the artists were there, everyone from all over the world was there. And so I got to host that here in Montreal because Anita Bago was the producer. And so I got to meet Raja there, and she sang that to me. And then I was like, oh my God, we have to get a video of that. And then everything was so chaotic that we just never got the video. But she has said, "Oh my God."
I love it. I love it.
I love that. I love that. So I want to know how the persona that you have on the show, everybody called you the unofficial auntie of the show. Like you were the auntie, and I loved it. I loved that was your thing. Like you were the auntie. Jaylene was the mother. You were the auntie. I love that. I love that. So I want to know how that helps you connect to your drag and to the community as a whole.
So actually, you might remember in my Meet the Queens, I talked a little bit about how like all the women in my life kind of like influenced my drag. Firstly, I have to mention something. They cut out the part where I talk about how, because I name like my grandmothers and my godmother and my mom's friends. They didn't put the part in where I said that my sense of humor comes from my mother. So my mother saw the Meet the Queens and she was like, yeah. And who else? So, Mom, I love you. Sometimes I open my mouth and my mother falls out.
Same.
But my godmother, we called her Auntie Anne. Mm. So she was the original unofficial auntie because she wasn't my aunt. She was my godmother, but we called her Auntie Anne. So when I started doing drag, I said, that's the energy that I want to have. I want to have the energy of someone that is always looking out for you, always wants the best for your spirit, for your mind, for your body, but isn't necessarily related to you, but like is still family. That was the whole idea. I always said that when you run away from home, mm-hmm. you come to Uma's house. Mm. That was the energy, because I always, when I started, it was like, hunty cunty, baka snatched face, girly girl, whatever. And I said, that's not me. If I try doing that, I'm going to look ridiculous. So I wanted to be a big hug in drag. I wanted everyone to feel loved and accepted and find space with me here where I, like in my shows. That's where the auntie energy comes from.
I love that.
It shows. It really does show. Like you are someone that immediately I connected to because I love, for lack of a better term, a kooky queen. And I know you will take that with the utmost compliment. And
absolutely.
Absolutely. But all of that energy was so well displayed by you on the show and on social media and everything like that. So if no one's told you, you are seen and we see you for what you're doing and we appreciate you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Now, you are a busy girl.
Yes, ma'am.
15 to 30 shows a week in Montreal. How do you do it? And what are the best parts and the hardest parts about it?
So the only way that I actually managed to do it is the fact that my husband / drag sister is the mistress of business. And so I always say that I am just a puppet. I'm just spinning around in life and she points me in the right direction and pushes. And I show up. If it wasn't for her, I would not be doing this. I certainly would not be doing as many shows as I do. She is my cheerleader, my stylist, my co-director, my chauffeur. Like literally, I couldn't show up to the gig without her.
Yeah. Shout out to Selma God. Selma God.
Selma God, the mistress of business and your motivational monster. So that's how I manage it, is because I have amazing support. And I think the best part of it is that it makes it so that this is my full-time job. I was a preschool teacher before this, which means that I was like getting up at 6 a.m. to be in my class at like 6:30, doing a whole day, then going home. So I would shower in the morning to wake up. Then I would shower after work to get like shaved and ready, then go to a gig, come back, at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, shower again to get the drag off, go to sleep for 4 hours and then do it again. I was like, this is too much. So the highlight is that I get to do this full time. The hardest part is that, this is a lot of work, y'all. I'm not a kind of girl who can just throw on a lash and some chapstick and be like, it doesn't happen that way. So like this takes a lot of time and a lot of product.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think you have one of the most distinct characters that we've seen on Canada's Drag Race. And you mentioned that some of your influences have been Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball. And as a huge fan of I Love Lucy, I loved hearing that. So I would just like to hear a little bit of your background with your inspirations and how you created the character that you have today.
So, like I said, when I started getting into drag, it was in a moment where drag was really starting to explode. And so everyone was trying to do it, but we had limited resources. There's only so many YouTube videos and drag mothers to go around at that point. So everyone kind of had a similar vibe. Like I said, very, very snatched, very angular, very hunty cunty, very Britney Spears. Because at the time that was the relevant point of reference. And so I said that I wanted to go into it and do it for a different reason. So I started in the Fringe Festival here in Montreal. It's a theater festival that happens all over the world. And we were doing a play, and I said, I'm going to make a real character. And I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to try to be Britney Spears because it's not going to work. I'm going to look insane. So I'd rather look insane on my own, by my own free will, not by accident. So I said, I'm going to pull from these women, the Carol Burnett's and the Lucille Ball, Sherry Lewis, who is the puppeteer behind Lamb Chop. Funny redheaded ladies. Those are the women I said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to look goofy. I'm going to sound goofy, but I'm going to do it so well that you're going to laugh. And then you're going to go, wow, she's so dumb and so smart at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. I can see it. I love that. Everybody you named, I've watched. I'm in that generation. That is what I watched. That is what I enjoyed. Those are the women who made me laugh. So seeing you do this, I was like, period. This makes sense to me. This is what I know. And I absolutely love it. Now, I do have a question about one thing. And this has been something that has been on my mind since you did it. I want to know about the ostrich. I want to know the backstory about the ostrich outfit because number one, that was my favorite look from you this season. I was like, I love it. And then hearing that you saved this look from the first time you auditioned, you were like, I'm putting it up and I'm not putting it back out until I get on the show. The determination in that statement alone, and then you did it and got on the show and actually was able to present it on the runway. So motivating, so moving. I love it. I want to know everything about that ostrich outfit and why you felt it was so important.
That does mean a lot to me because it really was such an important moment for me. I know that they tried to put the little plink plonk She's So Delulu music behind me, but I think that the fans understood that was, that was not what was going on. That was not the sentiment in the room. The people really understood what was going on. So that ostrich is actually, so the creator of it is a drag artist here in Montreal, a phenomenal drag queen that does vaudeville style drag. And his name is Monsieur Michel. And he celebrated his 30th drag anniversary this year. And that ostrich is actually 25 years old. So it has been a part of so many drag artists' lives here in Montreal because they've seen Monsieur Michel perform in it and they've been like, oh my God, that's incredible. There was actually a couple of us who had to kind of fight over who was going to get it. And then when I was getting on Drag Race, I saw her put it up and she said, I'm selling this ostrich. And I was like, I hadn't been cast. I was really, 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 really close. Okay. And so I said, I'm going to buy this because I don't care what the themes are. I'm going to find a way to make it work. And I bought this ostrich. And then when I didn't get on, I said, I'm going to keep this a secret. No one's going to see it on me, so that when I put it on the stage of Canada's Drag Race, it's going to blow everyone's mind, because everyone here at home is going to know how important this is. And then everyone out in the world is going to get to be like impressed by this quintessentially Montreal drag symbol. So every time for 5 years, every time I saw Mr. Michel, he'd be like, so did you wear it yet? Did you like perform in it yet? And I'm like, no, it's a secret. Stop. So getting to do it was like, I finally, this is my moment. This is the moment. It was the one moment that I was like, no matter what happens, they can't take this away from me. I achieved the goal.
Who would have thought that an ostrich would be such a beautiful legacy piece from Montreal? I love that so much.
The thing is if you ask someone from Montreal, that's exactly, this is like a quintessentially Montreal thing. Like something stupid like that, because we're so theatrical and conceptual here. Like, yes, we have gorgeous girls who are sexy and hair whip and blah, blah, blah. But we also have a long legacy of like cabaret clown women and drag kings and drag creatures that are all out here doing goofy shit. And when you see it, you go, that's Montreal right there.
I live. Now, I love the way that you attack drag and attack performances. And I use attack very specifically because we saw some of the most interesting lip syncing from you. And I'm obsessed with the way that you perform. What has been the fan reaction to people getting to see you perform for the first time, especially after your winning performance in the Slay-Offs?
So everything I do in drag is always very divisive. People love me or hate me. The makeup, the voice, the style, the everything. And that goes down with all of my lip syncs as well, because there's some people who are like, oh, bitch, you better work. Like, you know, they were not expecting it and they loved it. Or there's people who think that I'm corny as hell and they hate it. And that's fine with me. Something that they didn't bring up on the show, I don't think, was that actually I'm a trained dancer. I'm incredibly rusty. But back in the days when Isis and I dated, I was part of the dance program at our local art school. So I'm a trained dancer. It's just I haven't done it in a million years. But like, I know what I'm doing. I've been performing my whole life. I've been trained in dance and in theater. And so when I bring it on the stage, it's not just by chance. It's like I've worked really hard on this.
Relatable. As someone who is also trained in dance and theater my entire life, I see you, and I'm there.
So I'm curious about something. So last week on our podcast, we coined the term, and we know that you all love each other, but we can coin the term beef triangle for you, Michaela, and Xana, because there's just so much conflict going on from every different angle between the three of you, but we know you still love each other. So can you tell me what it's been like just being part of that drama? And I'm sure you didn't expect it, right?
I went into Drag Race and I said, I'm going to be there for joy and I'm going to be there for celebration. And I tried my absolute best to do it. I'm not perfect, you know, like I regret kind of talking to Sangina about like how I thought that Perla should have won the lip sync. I didn't need to do that in that moment. I could have just told Perla, by the way, your lip sync was phenomenal. I didn't need to talk to Sangina that way. So I tried my best to be positive and care about these people. But when someone comes sideways at your neck, sometimes you just have to like, I said, I'm not going to be the cause of drama, but if you're going to try to drag me into it, you'll notice that most of the time the drama is me just trying to be like, no, don't let me be misunderstood. I've got something to say. I'm going to say it. And then we're going to move on because like, this is silly. So like, I don't know if it's just because I'm an old woman and I don't have like, you know, the years left to get tangled up in that bullshit. But yeah, I mean, like it made for some fun TV, but I was just standing up for myself. And I think that that's fine. You know, I mean, no one in particular needs to like, listen, Xana is actually really lovely. Like for those of you that don't know, she raised $5,000 without telling Sangina. She raised $5,000 for Sangina's like gender affirming surgeries.
Yep.
And she just tossed it her way like it was nothing. Xana and I like I said, we're on two very different roads, but we're headed to the same place. And so we have a lot of respect for each other, and we actually care about each other a lot. So, the way I always put it, without giving anything away, is that we're all still in the group chat. So there you go.
Good.
So, okay. I got confused. I was looking at my notes and I was like, is it my turn? It's my turn. You said on the first episode, in the episode of Snatch Game, that Snatch Game wasn't so bad. And I don't know. I think it goes either way. It depends on how you look at it. Some people think it was really bad. Some people like, not so bad. You say it wasn't so bad. Do you stand by that after watching the episode?
Oh, I actually feel even stronger about it than I did in that moment, because now, we all know that they film a lot of stuff and then they have to cut it down to fit in time and fit in with the story that they're telling and all that. There's jokes that happened in that Snatch Game that none of you got to see that were fantastic. They were so funny, particularly, like, we all know that Minnie it was clear from A to Z, she was fantastic. But Helena and Perla, they really did not deserve to be critiqued so harshly because they did a fantastic job. And most of my untucked time, you didn't see it all, but most of my untucked time was me spent like aggressively telling people, you deserve better. You're so great. You need to know that I love you. Like, it was I was in my feelings.
I loved it.
When I went there, I said, I'm not going to spend all this time like wallowing in self-pity. I'm not going to cry about being in the bottom. I'm going to make sure that I appreciate every second that I have here. So that's what I was doing in that moment. And then, so that means that I know that there was even better jokes. What you saw was actually still pretty damn good. We've seen some terrible Snatch Games before, and it wasn't even that bad. So imagine how good it actually was in the full length. So seeing the episode just confirmed for me. I was like, no. Brooke was in her feelings because we bombed the reading challenge, and she was feeling some type of way about it. And so she decided that she was going to tell us how terrible we were. She's wrong.
Fair enough.
Period. So had you been given the Wooden Beaver by Xana or Perla, what would your decision have been based on? Would it have been on track record? Would it have been on the Snatch Game itself, or
you know what? I can't even say, because I'm terrible at strategy. I am not. The undiagnosed ADHD in me makes strategy like just too much for me.
Yeah,
so in that moment, I was so caught up in, obviously, like I knew that I was in danger, and so like I was not spending any time thinking about who deserved it and who didn't and why I would do what I did. So I couldn't even tell you what I would have done. But I know that the people who sit there and they say, we're going to do it on track record. Yeah, you're going to do it on track record until your best friend is in the bottom. And then you're going to do it with your heart. And so, I mean, I think that in that moment, I probably would have saved, if I got to save someone, I would have saved Helena like this, because she's my weirdo sister. She was the only one that I actually personally knew when I walked in that workroom. Like, she was the only one that I knew, and I said, I need her to be here with me because she's going to get it. Jaylene is going to get my old lady references, and then Helena's going to get all this weird shit that I packed in my suitcase.
Love it.
So I think that's where it would have gone for me, but who knows, right? Like, I think that Minnie deserved so much more in that episode, Perla as well, so I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah. We want to close off with just a couple of quick rapid-fire questions for you, Uma. So, Uma Gahd, it's time for you to go off. All right, we want to know your best tea. Who are you closest to out of your sisters? You are all obviously all close, but who are you closest to?
I think just because, like, again, Helena is my weirdo sister. I always say that we're like yin yang. So I'm like a more contemporary, like mainstream-ish kind of girl with a weirdo dot inside. And she's a weirdo with a mainstream dot inside so that she can survive in Toronto. So like we complete each other, and I love Helena so much.
I love that. We want to know your full cup. Other than your own looks, who had one of your favorite looks from across the episodes that we've seen so far?
Michaela's 90s glamour look. You don't even understand how amazing it looked. Be it standing next to it, I don't care what I had been wearing. Like, I could have been wearing a $1 billion outfit, and I stood next to her and been like, I'm shit. It was incredible to see in real life. And then the same for Perla's alien superstar look. The TV, you don't understand the handwork that went into this. Her boyfriend beaded that entire dress by hand, and you can't see it on TV properly. You need to be right there, and it's just, you could crawl inside of it. It is its own ecosystem. It's incredible.
And we want to know your queen of positivity, Uma. Out of your season 5 sisters, who do you think is the most positive and uplifting for you and your Drag Race journey?
I think that Jaylene is kind of like that for everybody. If you're asking that to everyone, everyone's going to answer Jaylene.
Everyone has said Jaylene.
What's that?
Everyone has said Jaylene so
See,
far.
like, we know. But I think I also want to say that Minnie is like, there's a mature, thoughtful, sincere person in there that is always watching out for everybody, and she doesn't go on about it. But she'll look at you sometimes and just be like, by the way, you're great. You know, and you're just like, it's so so Minnie also is wonderful. I think that there's something about the maturity of people that aren't 21 years old that can really just, they can see over everything and just kind of like remind everyone, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. Uma, you are a delight. You are a weirdo in the best way, and we are so happy that you have graced our screens today. Let us know, where can people find you? What are you up to in the coming months? Plug yourself. Do all those things.
So you can find me on all the social, either Uma Gahd or House of God. And so places you can find me, I am going to be at DragCon UK. I am going to be in the Edinburgh Fringe again this year. So this summer, I'm going to be bringing my one-woman play, Are You There, Margaret? It's me, God, to the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm hopefully doing it again here in Montreal. And I have some monthly gigs that I do. I have an all-ages brunch that I do in Montreal for, you know, for the aunties that don't know drag yet, and for the kids that, you know, you don't want to bring them to the club because it's illegal. You can show up for that. I am going to be doing a new show in the new year at the Wiggle Room here in Montreal. So, like, I'm trying to get out everywhere. I want to travel with my one-woman show. So if you've got a library, a restaurant, a warehouse, a theater, whatever, I can bring this play. It literally was built to do anywhere. So, like, if you know somewhere that has a space, get Uma Gahd there. I'm bringing you drag theater. It's a real play. I had to memorize words and everything.
I love. I'm going to try to get you here where I'm at. So we'll talk. But Uma.
And I did want to say to all of you that, you know, I don't know if anyone else has told you, but a lot of us, you know, we have to be kind of careful with what media we're taking in and what opinions we're taking in, because a lot of the fandom is absolutely rotted, awful gremlin trash. Our entire group chat, you are the ones that were like, no, we can watch this one. You're all so lovely and so positive and so uplifting. And like, yeah, you've got opinions, but no one leaves these podcasts thinking like, wow, I'm going to quit drag. So like, I just want to put it out there that the love that you give us, it makes everything that we do that much easier. So thank you so much, and keep doing this. It show the Drag Race fandom that we can be positive and thoughtful and still be entertaining.
It's why we do what we do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That makes us feel so much better about what we do.
Yeah.
Yay!
We love you, Uma.
Well, I love you
Cheers.
too. God bless.
Yes, God.
God bless.
Bless.
Uma.